Pia mimi nilikuwa kama cha Douglas, nilikuwa naona msipokula watanionea huruma. Nilifungiwa kwa bedroom nikachua huko.
Wagiza.
Na niliambiwa nikienda kwa jikoni nitajua vitu sijaijua.
So what did you do?
Nikaa hapo nikaanza kuita mamangu akanisamehea tu.
Your mama ni mzuri ya ye, wacha nikuambie, your mom is good. Ungepata wetu jaribu hata kufungua mdomo, hiyo ni mpaka asubuhi. In fact, talking or trying to rescue yourself was another form of punishment. Yeah? Na hiyo ingekuongezea a bigger trouble. So you would just keep quiet mpaka the next day. Thank you, Adrian, for that feedback or your experience. Floyd, ever had an experience mali mmekwaruzana na mzazi? Mzae amekuleta juu, we ni aje ama madhea, mpaka ukasikia kumwambia we madhe, wewe unajua nitakushika hivi. Yes, Floyd.
Okay. Kuna one my friend walikuwa wameshaenda home. Mimi kasema siendi home kwanza. Zura kiasi then niende home. Sasa mimi ni kaenda kwa nini hapo home. Zile ploti. Kanza na kisha kuzima switch na kisha. Sasa nyewe saa katokea. Na mwiyo na hepa. Sasa shida ni nilisaitiwa na my friends. Sasa nilikuwa nimehepa kabisa, but my friends wakasema penye naishi.
Ukatafutwa na mara hiyo.
So hiyo bas. Sasa shida uzuri mamangu hakuwa saa hizo. Alikuwa church saa hizo. Sasa akakuja na my brother told her the whole story. So mimi niko bed, sitaki kuamshwa. My mom just came into the bed and told me, get out, twende kwa hiyo mwenyewe. Na sasa akasema hata ni chapa. Kwenda. So yeye mwenyewe tunaende sasa katokea. Nyewe sasa kamwambia the whole story what happened. Mamangu told me sasa ni chapa. Kando kuna pipe. Kuna pipe. So mamangu alichukua hiyo na kani chapa vizuri mbele ya watu. From that day nilisema mimi na kikerere wangu hapana kando.
Ukaamua kuokoka mambo hiyo.
Kabisa.
Thank you so much, Floyd. Madha nakuambia sitakuchapa. Lakini hapo amejiandaa vizuri. Yeah, in fact that is what some of our parents used to say. Nakwambia mom, akuja we ni mzuri. Turudi tu home. Wacha ufike home, ila uo utakuliwa huko. Na hakuna kupiga nduru ati uokolewe na jirani. Yeah, I have my best friend, she's called Carol. And Carol tells me her mother used to beat them mpaka majirani wanatokea, na wakitokea wanakuja, anawaambia kujeni mniambie kama nilizaa na nyinyi, kujeni mniambie hapa kama watoto ni wenu ama ni wangu. So no one dared used to go and rescue them. They would be beaten seriously. Yeah, that is how things were, because of conflicts, because of disagreements. Kulikuwa na vile watu hawakuwa wanaelewana, and people never used to find very better ways of handling situations. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it went overboard. Thank you so much, Floyd, for your experience. So today we are looking at conflict and conflict resolution. But today we'll major on conflict, because conflict resolution is now how do you come about with ways of solving a problem or ways of solving a disagreement. All of us have had an experience, and if we are given the time, all of us here can be able to attest and give our reasons for why we disagree and such like things. So allow me to share this. Kindly, Douglas, you can enable me to share the content. Thank you. Okay, as he's trying to do that, now we have said that conflict is a disagreement. Thank you, I can see, thank you. Okay, let me give it a few minutes. I don't know why it's not opening. So conflict is a disagreement between two people. You may disagree over rules of doing something. You may disagree over how to go about issues. And at home, the case may not be different. At home, the case may not be different. So a conflict, I don't know whether, can you be able to see what is on the screen? Can you
Yes.
be,
Yes, it is on. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, my laptop is misbehaving a bit. It's taking a while to load items. Okay, so a conflict is a clash of interest. There is a way you want things done. There is a way your parent wants things done. And as a young person, you may end up clashing. You may end up having a disagreement. Now, the basis of disagreement or the conflict may always vary, but it's always a part of the society. Conflicts will always be there, be it in the society or even in our homes. Yeah. And conflict resolution is the process by which two or more parties reach a peaceful resolution to dispute. That one, we'll look at it next week. Conflict resolution is now how to come up with ways of handling that conflict that has come about at home. Maybe it is about the time that you're supposed to be at home when you go out to play. Some of us tunaenda tunacheza, tunasahau saa ya kurudi home. There is a time that the parents have said that we must be home by this particular time, okay? So in the workplace, for those of us who are working, conflicts may also be there. It may occur between workers, it may occur between groups. And some conflicts are essentially arbitrary, meaning it doesn't matter who wins. Only that the problem is resolved to everyone who can get back to work. It's not about winning. It's not about who becomes the best. Mukirushiana midomo hapo nyumbani. Mama anasema hivi, wewe unasema hivi. Mama anasema hivi, unasema hivi. Yeah? Like I said before, children were not allowed to talk. But today, utakuta you have that freedom. na utakuta inaendanga overboard mpaka unakuta mtu anaanza kurushia mzazi maneno. Sasa inakuwa competition. So in a conflict, no one, it's not about who wins. It's about if a problem is able to be solved, then you are able to overcome that conflict. Everyone deals with conflict every day. Every day there are conflicts, be it at work, be it at home, be it in the church, be it in the society. You will always find people disagreeing over things. Brothers will disagree. Sisters will disagree. A brother and a sister will disagree. Conflicts are there with us every day. But what is important is learning how to manage those conflicts when they come about in the community, in the society, or even at home. Now, what are some of the causes of conflicts? What could be some of the causes of conflicts? Adrian, maybe if you can see what is on the screen. Causes of conflict.
The first step in dealing with conflict is identifying the specific cause of the conflict. There are several common causes of conflict. 1, lack of common understanding. 2, poor communications. 3, unclear or unfair expectations. 4, power plays and manipulation.
Okay, thank you so much, Adrian. So the very most common, this one cuts across anywhere. So one of them is a lack of common understanding. When you don't understand each other, or when you don't understand the other person, that's where the conflict can arise. Have you ever heard somebody say, mimi haki sielewi, watu hawanielewi? Yeah, I don't know whether it is watu hawakuelewi or, yeah, when there is a common understanding, lack of common understanding, then it brings about a conflict. In school, for example, the teacher gives an assignment and maybe the instructions are not very clear. So kuna watu hawataelewa. Waliambiwa wafanye number 1, number 6 and number 15. So kuna wengine hawashikanishangi haraka, utakuta mtu anauliza, "Na teacher alisemaje?" So you end up not doing some of the sums. So it brings conflicts between you and the teacher. The same at home. Mom has given you instructions. Nikirudi, uwe umeosha nyumba, umeosha vyombo, umepika lunch, and such like things. And you don't understand that, or you feel that it is too much for you. Then definitely by the time mom comes back, it will bring a conflict. Poor communication skills. When we give instructions at home, parents are supposed to give very, very clear instructions. Otherwise, if the instructions are not clear, the children will not understand what the parents expect of them, and hence it brings about conflict. Kama hujaelewa kitu uliza mom, na ulisemaje, hebu rudia, you know, so that you have that understanding and clear communication between you and your parent. Unclear or unfair expectations. For example, if your parent expects you to get an A and you are a C material, that is an unclear or an unfair expectation. Unfair because they will be expecting of you too much. I'm a parent and I know my children. I know who you are wapi na who you are wapi. So I cannot compare them. They are individuals. So if the expectations are not clear, Janelle, kindly don't draw on the screen. Okay, so if the communication, if the expectation is not very clear, then definitely it will bring a conflict. Power plays and manipulations, yeah, can bring conflict. Maybe you have a small brother at home. Na kwa sababu hutaki kufanya kazi yenye umepewa, unamwambia nitakubaia lollipop, unioshe vyombo, mimi nioshe nyumba. You're manipulating that person. When you are manipulating that person, it causes conflict. Kuna mahali atafika na akuruke akwambia, ai leo sifanyi. Yeah? A story is told of a boy who was playing outside in the yard. Ile kucheza ya boys na roughness ya boys, akagonga kuku ikadedi. Na walikuwa huko wocha kwa shosho. So ilipodedi, brother yake akamwambia, nitakusema kwa mam, nitakusema kwa mam. You know the way kids do, eh? Alafu namwambia, aki please, usiniseme kwa mam. So you make an agreement. Sasa ndio nisikuseme kwa mam, utakuwa unanioshea vyombo until further notice. Na utakuwa unafagia compound, kazi yote yenye itakuwa napewa wewe ndio utakuwa unafanya. Ni sawa, deal. Si mnafanyanga hivi, bet, tumebet. Unafanyanga hivyo hiyo kidole kidogo alafu mnabet. Sawa bro, sawa. This went on for some time and this boy was getting tired every day. Until one day, akaenda akaambia shosho, I have something to tell you. Yes? Ile kuku yako ya brown na white ni mimi niligonga kwa bahati mbaya nikicheza na ikadedi. Shosho akacheka akamwambia, all this while I have been waiting for you to come and say that you are the one. I saw you and I saw you play outside and you killing the chicken. But unfortunately you decided to be manipulated by your brother. Look how you have suffered. You have become a slave to your brother all this while. It would have been very simple for you to just come and say, I am sorry. Okay? Now, there are some causes of conflicts between teens and parents at home. Curfew. Curfew ni ile masaa ya kurudi home, eh? Maambiwa by kila nyumba inakuanga na time. By saa moja, you should be in the house. Emmanuel, is that what happens? Maybe you can nod your head. By what time should you be at home? When, for example, Emmanuel, by saa ngapi unatakiwa kuwa home?
Most of the times by around 6:30.
That looks like my house rules. Thank you. By 6:30, you should be in the house. And one time I asked my daughters, how do you know 6:30 imefika? Akaniambia, ma'am, nikiona street lights huko nje zimewaka, najua mataa zimewakishwa sana, najua imefika saa ya kurudi home. So curfew time is one of the reasons that can cause conflict. Your parent has told you that by 6:30 you should be in the house. Wewe unakuja 7:30. Ama another incident I was giving, I saw in our wall estate, siku moja mama imefika saa 3:30 unaona ameandika hapo, nani ako na maisani kwake 9:30 in the night, watu wanataka kwenda kulala. The boy went out playing, akajisahau na akaingia kwa one of the friends house na akashinda huko. So curfew can be a source of conflict. Yeah? If kids don't show up with
karaoke nilikuwa na kitu yake ilikuwa ya jana. Kwa naambia kuhusu kukula sana. Ako kwa hiyo group.
Unaandika yote?
Si yote, mimi siandiki yote.
Can you stop talking with the mic on?
Okay, thank you. So it doesn't really matter what happened, what parents set the curfew time. When the kids don't show up, it makes them worried because it is their responsibility to know where you are. When you leave your home, make sure your parents know where you are. And if there is a time set at home, make sure you return the time you are supposed to come back home. The other issue that can bring problems or conflicts between parents and teenagers is cell phone use. Hapa si tunaanguka mtihani. Whether it is chatting or it is playing games on the phones, plugging our earphones, this is a very big problem because Sometimes umepewa kazi at home and you are not able to do it because umeshinda na simu. So this one can cause a disagreement between you and your parents, okay? Sometimes they may end up paying a lot on the bills just because of your overuse of the phone. So that one we should avoid, because electricity, water, wengine wanaingia kwa bafu wanaoga 1 hour, surely. Na unaoganga every day. Hiyo ni uchafu gani unatoa na 1 hour? Think of the electricity. Think of water that is being used in that home. Wengine wako kwa Netflix mpaka usiku. Stima zina run hapo. Very late in the night, mtu amefuata series. Najua hapa nikiwauliza mtaniambia. Series zenye mnafuata mpaka karibu asubuhi. You even don't become productive in your studies because of spending so much time on the TV. So we should avoid that, because we need to save on power. Our parents pay a lot on power, water, and so on.
Yeah.
The other issue that can bring conflict is noise. Noise. If at the moment, like for example, most of us are at home now. I even see where I live. There is a lot of noise in the neighborhood. And when there's a lot of noise from the kids, it communicates that there's a lot of idleness. Because there should be a timetable in a day. What are you supposed to do? Yeah. Others play very loud music. That is noise. Kuna watoto wa neighbor wako wadogo, hawezi wakalala. Wewe ndio umecheza hapo ngoma zako na magenge zako na majui what. Mpaka very late, you disturb everybody in the neighborhood. So it will bring a conflict between you and your parents. The other issue is boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah? Who are your friends? What kind of friends are you keeping? Parents will always question. Parents will be comfortable with your friends who come to your house and your parents know them. If your parents don't know them, they don't know their parents, then it brings a conflict. Huwezi kuja kuambia mzazi wako, I have a friend wangu ni fulani. Or even developing relationship as a teenager at this early age can really bring conflicts between you and your parents, because you will not concentrate on your studies. Yeah, so I think we should be able to take care of that. Church and religion is another issue. Wengine wanataka kwenda church ingine na wengine wanataka kwenda church ingine. Now get it from me today. Just like the way rules are set in every home, the church that your parents go to is very, very important also you attend that church. So the issue of religion is usually very complicated, and the church where we go to. We go to church, we get spiritual nourishment, we get good influences, we get good values. So there is a tendency that as we mature, some of us tunaamua kwenda other churches. Ama tunaamua, ama mi siendi hiyo church yenu, mi siendi church, nitaangalia kwa TV. Ati sasa juu umekuwa teenager, you cannot attend church. That one should not happen. If it happens, then it will bring conflicts between you and your parents. We still go to church even as we are older. So why should you not go to church? Yeah. So this can bring clash between you and your parents. The other issue is grades. If you underperform in your studies, then definitely it will bring conflicts between you and your parents. There is an expectation, as we said, that your parents expect of you. When you don't meet the expectation, it will disappoint them. especially if they know that you are a very bright kid, or they know how you're supposed to perform. The other issue is fairness. No one likes to work for free, but occasionally teenagers see doing chores as working for free. When you work, you are improving yourself. You are making yourself a better person. So you need to work so that you improve yourself. Personal appearance sometimes can bring conflicts between parents and teenagers, like having tattoos. Mwadhe amekukuta na tattoo hata ajui ulienda kuchorwa lini. Some of them are even drawn in very funny places in our bodies. Mpaka unajiuliza
Mpaka
huyu
anashindwa
alienda.
mtu atashika aje.
Unashindwa ilicho.
Anashindwa huyu mtu atashika aje.
Some tattoos are drawn in very, very funny places of our bodies. Very secret places you would not even want anyone to see. Unakuta tattoo iko huko. Yeah? So that one, of course, will bring a conflict between you and your parents. Piercings. Zingine zimetobolewa mpaka kwa kitovu ya tumbo. Uko na mpini. Crazy hairdos. Aki na hii corona ndio sana. Tembea huko nje utaona hairstyle zenye ziko huko. Aki hata unashindwa, huu ni mtoto wa mtu. Some hairstyles that are there out there. Yeah? So this one will bring conflicts definitely. Heavy makeup. Yani umejiweka makeup mpaka unakaa scarecrow. When you overdo something, definitely you become something else. Yeah? Or short skirts that are easy ways to pick a fight with the parents. Here girls will be the problem. Short skirts. Unashindwa fundi alienda na material ingine. Yeah, when you don't dress decently, definitely it will bring a conflict between you and your parents. So it can also cause a conflict. Smoking, drinking, and drug use. This one we talk when we are talking about drug and substance abuse. No parents want their kids to be a drug when they are born. And of course, when they find out that you are taking drugs, or you have started working in the company of people who take drugs, definitely it will bring a conflict. You will have a fight. Na kama uko na dadi atakuweka mateke, my friend, you will fight, man fight. Huh? Because it will bring problems between you and your parents. Why? Because no parent wants their children to engage themselves in drugs. Okay? Dishonesty. Yeah, sometimes I ask my students and they tell me, teacher, it was just a white lie. There is no white lie and black lie. A lie is a lie. Living a life of dishonesty, when you have realized that you have done something wrong, own it up. Ask for forgiveness. I am sorry. It never breaks anything when you say, I am sorry. Mentor Douglas mentioned the 3 polite words that we learn. Thank you, I am sorry, and forgive me. Thank you, forgive me, and may I. Those are the polite words that should be very close to your lips. But if you are dishonest, it becomes an issue between you and your parents. And when you lie, it means you are covering up something. Kuna kitu hutaki wazazi wako wajue. Mulikuwa wapi? Tulikuwa na kina Jeni. Mkifanya nini? Tulikuwa tu tunapiga story. And yet, pengine you had gone for a party that was unauthorized for you by your parents. Even if everybody is doing it, as we said some time back when we were talking about peer pressure. Everybody is doing it yet. Yes, but are you everybody? You have an identity. You have a name. Even if everybody is doing it, there is nothing wrong of you not doing it because everybody is doing it. You cannot follow people walking in the wrong direction. You'd rather walk alone. Okay? So dishonesty can bring disagreements between you and your parents. And you can see what is happening to this girl. Wamebishana na father, anampointia my fingers. So avoid pointing a finger of speaking in a language that is not very kind. You will make your parents more aggrieved. We have heard of parents dying of depression and other ailments because of fights that they have with their children. These are common things that we do. Huyo ananyonga brother ama ni madhe? Huyo ni madhe ananyongwa. Yeah? Fights. Can we avoid that? You've decided to drive and you have not become a driver yet. I know some of us can drive here, but do not until you attain the age of 18. Until you are authorized by the country to drive. Because some time back, in one of our estates, we saw in the newspapers, a boy rammed into a 10-year-old boy and killed him instantly. So this can bring conflicts because how did you get the car? Aya, wengine wako hapo, tunataka kwenda party. These are things that we love doing. That can bring conflict. But unless parents have authorized you to do that, then you shouldn't. Some of us just stay in our rooms. We are just there. Atuongei na mtu, we just lock ourselves in our rooms. Of course, it will bring conflicts. Let's learn how to overcome them. Kama ameenda kuskate hapo, hebu muone na ako katikati ya barabara. Hii inakaa Forest Road, eh? Na ako katikati ya barabara and it's a very busy road. Haki teenagers can do scary things. Na gari iko hapo inakuja na speed ya 140. You don't want to imagine what will happen. Skating is fun, yes, but sometimes we do dangerous things that can cause conflicts between us and our parents. Yeah. That is a team. When you work as a team, you'll always have good things coming your way. Relationships between you and your parents, between you and your friends. How are you putting your relationships? Are they in order? When you feel sad, when you feel you have been wronged, tell your parent and they'll be always be very sorry. You can see this mother is really consoling the girl and very sorry. Yeah, sometimes even us as parents, we overreact because we have our own interest. But be bold. Mwambie mom, umenikosea. If you are sure that your parent amekukosea.
Excuse me, mentor.
Yes?
When you said somebody stays in his or her room, how does it cause conflict?
It causes conflict because some do not come for dinner, meal times with the family. You're supposed to share meal times. You're supposed to share, if it is watching TV, you're supposed to be there, maybe discuss something together. But some teenagers just lock themselves in their rooms and they just sit there. Yes, maybe they could be having problems, but unless you talk it out, who will know you have a problem? No one is an angel to read your mind that you are going through a problem. So the best way is to talk it out with your parents. Let them know that you have a problem instead of locking up yourself in the room. Have I answered your question?
And
Yes.
maybe just to add,
Yes.
if what happens is when you're locking yourself in the room, it's supposed to be a union where you people live in unity, and there's no way one of you will always be taking supper or take a meal or go to the table, dining table, pick a cup of tea and maybe a snack, go to your room, stay there. When it is lunchtime, go pick another a plate of ugali and kuku, go to your room, come back in the evening. You're just appearing to receive and go back. That's what we tend to mean. When you're so much isolated in your room that you don't want to have time with the family, it denies you time to bond with your parents, to bond with your siblings, and even to do what? To do house activities. And that's why when you're so much in your room, then it denies you time to do what? Even to do assignment. Yeah. If you've been left maybe to take care of something in the house, then you don't really have time because there's an isolation part of you. And isolation breeds sin. Yeah. You can't live alone or can't be somewhere alone in the room for more than one day, and your parents will be cool with it that we are ametulia tu, yeah, kuna kitu anafanya. It leads to a lot of conflict because I like, hey, niaje su come kule, na come. After 1 hour umejifungia tu kwa room, you only appear to take food and go back. It brings conflict. So thing that does not your family member, it creates a conflict between the two of you.
Thank you so much, Mentor Douglas, for your input. Yes, families should always live as one. So no one should be taking their meals or keeping most of their time in their rooms. Yeah, if it is studying, I think there is a place where you can study, a common area where you can study. If it is having meals, the dinner table is there. Family togetherness is very, very important because that is the time you are able to read body language, you are able to discuss how your day was. If you don't discuss as a family, then there is a problem. I have a colleague who has teenagers, but now they are a bit older. And she used to really come to work so stressed up. And she would tell us that she would make meals. She has 4 boys. She would make meals. And when it is meal time, you call people, they don't come. So she would even literally take the phone, now apige, hey, flani, you come to the dinner table. I don't think that was fair. Yeah, you know what meal times are. You know what you're supposed to do. So I think that one is clear. And as a young person, there's a road sign there. Speed limit 25. Ukienda kwa barabara, the roads is designated with various speed limits. Kuna speed ya 100, kuna mahali utaenda na 50. There is somewhere else you will drive at 40. There is somewhere else you will drive at 10 kilometers per hour. What does this mean? As young people, we tend to be very fast in life. Kindly mute those who are speaking in the background. Thank you. We tend to be very fast and overreact and do things very fast. Can we take some time, take a lower gear and listen more? We'll be able to solve our problems in a better way. So when we reduce the speed limit in our life, we'll be able to become better people. Now, among those issues that we discussed, which one do you think caused the most conflict between you and your parents? Kila mtu anajijua kwao. Can you note it down? I will ask you on Wednesday. Can you write down? Among the causes of conflicts between you and your parents, which one is the most? Kila mtu anajua yake. Write it down. What caused most? Yes? Yes.
Anyone, the Bible says, confess your sins and you'll be free. So anyone who is willing to share, aseme tu mimi imekonga story phone and ikiapa story kwenda chat, you can write on the side chat. Yes. And from there we know how to help someone. Just share, mimi imekonga story ya grades, imekonga sitaki kusoma. Ama mimi ni dishonest, mimi sisemangi ukweli. Ukituma duka na somo moja na 50 bob imepotea. So you can still share on the side chat so that we also learn and also help you. Even me, I will share mine. mkishare yenyu. Thank you.
Okay, can I add something?
Yes, Emmanuel.
I want to add something that you didn't touch on, mainly on cell phone and electricity. So, like, sometimes it's not usually us that cause the problem. It's our parents.
Mm.
Since they
How?
from your generation, you are used to like hunting and all that stuff, and there was no telephones or something. So that time you're like still evolving. You're like dinosaurs. But us, since you are born in this generation, it makes us technosavians. This means like we are in generation Z. So we are born for the future. So sometimes you should learn to like evolve and like help us as teens to continue well, and don't like usually even me at home when I use like playing video games, everybody does that. But like usually my mom is always like, you're using too much of this and this. So I look at why she says this, and like we talk and we make a timetable and all that. So we agree on the things we should do. And I think also you guys should make a timetable with your teens or your children, so that like you don't have any other conflicts. That's all I can say from my side. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Yeah, you are right. But as you rightly put, there must be a timetable. Too much of something will always be poisonous. Even that PS that you are playing, you cannot play PS for over an hour, honestly speaking. No, that won't work. Yeah, you will agree. Kindly, those who are talking, who are talking at the background, kindly. Okay, thank you. It is good to agree. When you agree, I don't think there'll be a conflict. Yeah. When you agree, when you have clear guidelines, when you have clear set rules, like by 6:30 you are supposed to be at home, I don't think there'll be conflict. Conflict comes in when one person becomes selfish. Let me say that. Be it you or your parent. Conflict also comes in when you don't meet the expectations. Remember, you are still under your parents' care. So they have an expectation of you. The reason why they don't want you to spend so much of your time on the cell phone is because you have an education ahead of you. Yes, you may use your phone to do some research for some time, but you cannot be using it, overly using it. I think when I talked about it, I talked about overly using it. That is using it so much. Yes, so can you not, thank you for that. So can you note down which one brought most conflict to you? Emmanuel ametuambia mambo ya PS na stima kwao, hiyo ameweka check. We are doing a vote, As you can see down there, we are taking a vote. Yako ni gani? Curfew, masaa ya kurudi home, you don't keep the time. Cell phone use, electricity use, noise, girlfriend, boyfriend stuff, religion, church, grades, fairness, personal appearance. Wewe umekata, uko na maalama fani yenye hata mzazi wako haelewi. Or tattoos. Smoking, drinking, drug abuse, dishonesty. Can you take a vote? Okay, I believe by now you have done that. Now, somebody said, conflict cannot survive without your participation. For conflict to be there, you must be part of it. If it is between you and your parent, you must be there. Haiwezi kuwa mzazi peke yake. We are also taking part in a conflict. Somebody else said, 10% of conflict is due to difference in opinion. Out of all the conflicts that are there in the world, between children and parents, between communities, between political leaders, between workers and employers, 10% of the conflict is due to difference in opinions. Just 10%, imagine inaleta shida. Kidogo, that's a very small percentage, right? 90% is due to delivery and the tone of voice. For example, curfew time, for example. If we set rules in the house that by 6:30 we have to be in the house, what tone am I using when I'm giving that instruction? And how is it delivered? So the 90% is out of delivery and the tone of the voice, whereas 10% is due to the difference in opinions. Somebody also said, according to the United Nations Training Manual, conflicts can have a positive side, one that builds relationship, creates coalitions, fosters communication, strengthens institutions, creates new ideas, rules, and laws. These are the functions of conflict. So conflict can have a positive side. It doesn't have to be a negative. Positive in the sense as it builds relationship. After you have mumekwaruzana kidogo na wazazi, you are able now to become my best and my friends. And when you make your parents your best friends, you are able to confide in them when you have problems and they'll be able to help you. And share the good times together too. Martin Luther King Jr. said, people fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other. So how have we communicated with each other? If you don't communicate well, then it brings a conflict. Somebody said, the true mark of maturity is when somebody hurts you and you try to understand their situation instead of trying to hurt them back. Ukikuta mtu amekukosea, try to understand kwa nini wamekukosea instead of hurting them back. Then finally, what happens when conflicts are not resolved? Mumekosa kuelewana. What will happen? Hiyo ni part 2 ya next week. So thank you so much. Next week, we'll delve into the benefits of conflict resolution, the models of conflict resolution, and the ways of conflict management and resolution, or how do you manage conflicts between you and your parents. Mutasaidianaje ili muweze to have a good relationship? How are you going to blend so that you have a better relationship between you and your parents? Your parents are your best friends because they are second after God. And so you should build a very cordial relationship between you and them. Let them know what goes on in your world. Let them advise you. Be open to advice. Be a good listener. Conflicts will be there. Yeah? If it is the times that are set at home, you have not done the homework, or you have not done the house chores, definitely there will be conflicts. But how are you going to handle these conflicts? I think this will come next week. So thank you so much. Back to you, Mentor Douglas.
All right. Thank you so much. That was well illustrated. I've seen the video, the images, the fights, and thank you so much for just bringing it out plain and simple. And I think the main thing was for us to understand what are those things that causes conflict between us and the parents. And so once you understand what causes conflict, then you need to work on to that thing so that it doesn't bring a conflict. If it is curfew time, yeah, because like I told you, mimi niko najua nikienda home late nimecheza ball, mazee nitapewa zangu, and then I'll not take my lunch, my supper. So what do I need to do? I need to work on how to do what? not to hurt my parents. Yeah. If it is maybe being on phone for long, thank you, Manuel, for setting up the story of a timetable. And you guys have taken you through how to work on your timetables and how to work on managing your time. If it is because my mom see me more on my PlayStation and it makes her feel bad, what I need to do, I just reduce it. Yeah. And you can't say that there's no effect. Remember we said, if you can stay on something for long until you avoid other things, yani unaweza kaa kwa TV kiwatch program zote, uangalie Aliandro, ikitoka KTN unaenda Citizen, kutoka nyiko, kutoka Citizen unaangalia gani iko K24. Yani you can flip all the channels and you know ukitoka kwa hii kisha ile session nyingine kuna ingine. If you can't do without it, it means you've been addicted. Yeah. And what we are helping you is to avoid addiction. Too much of something is not good. Yeah. It shows that you can't live without it. Yeah. So when it is maybe your parents, let me tell you this, your parents always have the best for you guys. Yeah. And even right now I can remember you when my mom used to give us hizo viboko, and without even seeing who is around, anakuja tu kwa ball. Sasa umechenga ama umecelebrate goal, unasukia kwa kiboko kwa mgongo, rwa. Unafanya nini hapa? Unakimbia home. Yeah. By the time anakwambia nisikutangulie home, na sasa umesahau bag. Unakimbia, unafika katikati umesahau bag, then he comes back to you. Amekutangulia home. Yeah. So it is for your good. And we always discover that no parent can ever want the worst for you. If they tell you, please avoid this company of friends, it is for